Ladies and gentlemen, what if I told you that your attitude not, your talent, not your background, not even your circumstances is the real force standing between where you are and where you want to be? Every dream you've ever had is waiting, not for the perfect moment, but for the right mindset. And once you shift your thinking, the entire world begins to shift with you. This isn't just motivation, it's a blueprint for unstoppable success. Stay with me, because your breakthrough might just begin right now. A positive attitude is more than just a good mood or a sunny smile. It's a daily decision to face life with confidence, resilience, and belief in better outcomes. It's about choosing strength when everything inside you wants to surrender. Life doesn't always give us what we expect, but it gives us exactly what we need to grow. And that growth begins with the thoughts we feed our minds. If you tell yourself you can't, you won't. But if you dare to believe that you can, you've already started shifting the outcome. The power of positivity isn't wishful thinking, it's a mindset that prepares you for opportunity. When challenges arise, people with a positive mindset don't break, they bend and bounce back. They understand that success is a result of inner strength, not external luck. The mind is the engine of your life. Fuel it with optimism, and it will take you places you've never imagined. That's how transformation begins, not outside, but within. There are countless people in the world who have the same skills, talents, and dreams. But what separates the successful ones from the rest isn't luck, it's the way they think. Success doesn't knock on every door. It's drawn to those who are mentally prepared to open it. A positive attitude trains the mind to see beyond limitations. It helps you focus on solutions instead of problems, progress instead of setbacks. When the world says, it's impossible, a positive mind whispers, try one more time. It allows you to keep moving, even when there's no applause, no spotlight, and no guarantees. And in those moments of silence and solitude, that mindset becomes your strength. It's what keeps you grounded, focused, and hungry. With positivity, every failure becomes feedback, and every setback becomes a setup for a greater comeback. The battle for success is won in the mind long before it's won in life. Life will test you in ways you never imagined. There will be days when everything seems to go wrong, when nothing makes sense, and when giving up feels easier than holding on. But that's when attitude becomes everything. A positive attitude doesn't promise a life without pain, it promises a life where pain doesn't define you. It helps you endure the pressure, rise from the fall, and keep believing in the sunrise even after the darkest night. The storms will come, no doubt about it, but positivity becomes your anchor. It reminds you that you are not your circumstances. You are the fire that keeps burning through them, and as long as that fire stays alive, so does your purpose. That unwavering belief in a better tomorrow makes you unstoppable today. This mindset becomes the difference between staying stuck and moving forward. Your thoughts shape your actions, and your actions shape your destiny. That's why a positive mindset is the most powerful tool you can ever develop. It's the inner compass that keeps you aligned with your goals, even when distractions surround you. It helps you silence the noise of doubt, fear, and negativity. When you choose optimism, you naturally begin to attract better energy, better people, and better outcomes. Your mind starts focusing on growth, not gossip, on potential, not pity. It's a daily practice, not a one-time event. And over time, those positive thoughts begin to rewire the brain. They change the way you speak to yourself and the way you respond to the world. With each passing day, you become more driven, more focused, and more resilient. You begin to show up differently, and that difference becomes your edge. People often underestimate the power of attitude. They think it's just a soft skill or something nice to have. But in reality, it's the very foundation of how you navigate life. The attitude you carry into a room can either inspire or deflate it. The energy you bring into your day can either fuel progress or slow it down. A positive attitude doesn't mean you deny reality, it means you choose not to be ruled by it. It means you look at your situation with clear eyes and say, yes, this is hard, but I am harder. That choice sets off a chain reaction. It builds emotional strength, mental focus, and inner peace. These are the things that create sustainable success. When you walk into a challenge with the mindset of a winner, life starts to respond to your courage. The doors that once seemed closed begin to crack open. Every successful person has faced doubt, delay, and disappointment. But what keeps them moving is the belief that their efforts matter. Positivity gives you the patience to keep working and the faith to know that your time will come. It keeps your vision alive on the days when nothing seems to be working, because success rarely arrives overnight. It's built day by day, choice by choice, with the small bricks of persistence and a positive mindset. And when others quit, you keep going not because the path is easy, but because your mind is strong. That mental strength is your greatest asset. It allows you to see the bigger picture when others are blinded by setbacks. It gives you the discipline to say no to distractions and yes to progress. In the long run, the most powerful person is not the one with the loudest voice, but the one with the quietest, strongest mind. Attitude is everything because it controls the narrative you live by. The story you tell yourself every day becomes the life you create. If you keep telling yourself you're not ready, you'll never start. But if you tell yourself that progress is better than perfection, you'll begin to move. And movement is the beginning of change. A positive mindset replaces fear with faith, excuses with effort, and hesitation with action. It transforms pressure into purpose. That transformation is subtle at first, but it grows. You start showing up with more confidence. You begin to handle criticism without breaking down. You learn to welcome challenges as stepping stones. And suddenly, you're no longer afraid of the journey, you're fueled by it. That's when your goals stop being dreams and start becoming your reality. You don't need to be extraordinary to have a positive attitude. You just need the willingness to shift your perspective. The most powerful people aren't the ones who avoid pain, they're the ones who learn from it. Positivity helps you find purpose in the pain. It teaches you that even when things fall apart, you can rebuild stronger. It's not about ignoring the struggle, it's about seeing the strength it brings. A positive mindset turns every difficulty into a lesson, every heartbreak into a breakthrough. And when you start seeing life that way, nothing can hold you back. You learn to trust the process. Even when it's not clear, you begin to understand that every chapter, even the painful ones, are shaping you for something greater. The truth is, the world is filled with negativity. There will always be people who doubt you, criticize you, or try to pull you down. But you don't have to join them. You can choose to rise. You can choose to be the light in the room, the calm in the chaos, the strength in the struggle. A positive attitude gives you that power. It helps you rise above noise and lead with clarity. It allows you to protect your peace, guard your focus, and stay true to your mission. When you lead with positivity, you become an exemplar not just of success, but of character. That influence is magnetic. People start believing in your vision because you believe in it first, and that belief can move mountains. The most beautiful thing about a positive mindset is that it's available to everyone. No matter where you come from, no matter what you've faced, you have the ability to change your thoughts. And when you change your thoughts, you change your life. Success doesn't start with a bank account or a big opportunity. It starts with the right attitude. It starts with waking up every day and choosing to see possibility where others see problems. It starts with believing that you are worthy of growth, of success, of happiness. That belief is not just motivational fluff, it's the foundation of every breakthrough you'll ever create. So choose positivity, choose strength, and most of all, choose yourself every single day. Rejection is one of life's most painful experiences, but it's also one of the most powerful teachers. It can break you, or it can build you depending on how you choose to respond. The key is to stop seeing rejection as a personal failure and start seeing it as divine redirection. When one door closes, it's because it was never meant for you in the first place. It takes courage to look at a closed door and not feel defeated. But that strength is what molds resilience. Each no you receive is simply clearing space for the right yes to arrive. Rejection doesn't mean you're not good enough, it means something better is waiting. It's not a dead end, it's a detour. When you stop chasing what isn't meant for you, you start attracting what truly is. That shift in mindset turns rejection from a setback into a stepping stone. The most successful people in the world have heard no more times than most ever will. What sets them apart is their ability to rise every time they fall. They take rejection as feedback, not failure. Instead of asking, "Why me?" they ask, "What now?" They understand that rejection is part of the journey to greatness, not a sign to stop walking. Growth doesn't happen in comfort, it happens in the moments when things don't go as planned. And that's where real transformation begins. It's not in the applause, but in the silence, when you keep going despite being told you're not ready, not enough, not wanted. That's how greatness is forget in the quiet moments of persistence, not the loud moments of praise. Rejection tests your belief in yourself, and if you pass that test, you become unshakable. Every no has a lesson wrapped inside it, if you're willing to listen. Sometimes it's about timing, sometimes about direction, and sometimes about self-worth. But in all cases, rejection pushes you to reflect. It forces you to reassess your path, your approach, and your purpose. It's a mirror that shows you what needs to grow stronger. When you embrace rejection, you stop fearing it. You begin to use it as a tool, not a threat. That shift in perception is powerful. It gives you clarity. It gives you grit. And most importantly, it gives you the freedom to fail without losing faith. Because rejection is never the end, it's always a redirection towards something more aligned with your destiny. Think of every rejection as a test of how much you truly want what you're chasing. If you quit after one closed door, was the dream really that strong? Passion is proven in the moments you feel discouraged, but decide to try again anyway. That's the moment that separates wishful thinking from real ambition. Rejection weeds out the weak, but it sharpens the determined. It forces you to get creative, to adapt, to evolve, and in that process you become more skilled, more focused, and more ready for what's next. The opportunity you think you lost may have only been preparation for a better one. Sometimes, it's not about being denied, it's about being developed. That development turns ordinary people into extraordinary achievers. The road to success is never straight. It's filled with detours, delays, and disappointments. But that's what makes the journey worthwhile. Rejection gives depth to your story. It adds layers to your character. Without it, success would be hollow. Every no builds emotional muscle. It teaches you patience, humility, and resilience. These are qualities that no degree or certificate can give you. They're earned through experience, especially the hard ones. And when you finally get the yes you've been waiting for, it means more because of everything you went through to get there. The struggle adds value to the reward. Rejection in that sense is a necessary part of fulfillment. It's the fire that tempers your soul. There is something liberating about not being chosen. It removes the pressure to fit into someone else's mold and reminds you to create your own space. Rejection forces you to stop seeking validation from others and start validating yourself. It brings you back to your inner voice, the one that truly matters. That voice says you are still worthy, still powerful, still on purpose. It reminds you that just because someone else doesn't see your value doesn't mean you don't have it. Your worth is not determined by acceptance, it's revealed by how you handle rejection. When you keep showing up with dignity and drive, despite the setbacks, you reclaim your power. You stop chasing approval and start walking in purpose. Rejection also strengthens your vision. It forces you to ask, what do I really want? And why do I want it? It strips away the noise and distractions, helping you focus on what truly matters. Sometimes rejection is the universe saying, there's something better waiting, but you're not ready yet. It's not a punishment, it's preparation. And when you start trusting that process, you stop resisting it. You learn to lean into the discomfort and grow through it. The moments that hurt the most often become the ones that shape you the most. They carve out your character and solidify your strength. Rejection isn't just a detour, it's the training ground for destiny. People often fear rejection so much that they never even try. But what they don't realize is that rejection is evidence of effort. It means you were brave enough to put yourself out there. It means you cared enough to risk failure. And that in itself is a kind of success. Playing it safe never leads to greatness. Growth only comes from daring, and daring invites rejection. But that's okay, because the goal isn't to avoid pain. It's to learn how to rise from it. Every time you get back up, you become a little stronger, a little wiser, a little more unstoppable. And with every step forward, you get closer to the breakthrough that's meant for you. There's a hidden gift inside every closed door, a redirection toward the place where you truly belong. But you'll only see it if you stop dwelling on what you lost and start focusing on what you're learning. Pain is real, disappointment is real, but so is progress. You are allowed to feel it, but don't let it define you. Use it. Let rejection refine your focus, sharpen your determination, and deepen your self-belief. The people who make it are not the ones who never got hurt. They're the ones who kept showing up, regardless. They turned every no into fuel, every failure into fire. And over time, those small acts of resilience built unshakable confidence. That's the power of redirection. In the end, success is not about how many times you win, but how many times you refuse to give up. Rejection is part of the journey, not the end of it. It's not a reflection of your worth, but a revelation of your path. Every no is guiding you toward a better, more aligned yes. But only if you keep walking. Only if you trust the process. Only if you understand that the universe never says no without a reason. Sometimes, the rejection you fear the most is actually the one that saves you. So don't shrink. Don't stop. Don't surrender. Stand tall. Stay hungry. And keep moving forward. Because the success you're dreaming of isn't behind the door that closed its ahead, waiting for your persistence to find it. Energy is one of the most powerful forces we carry, and our attitude determines the kind of energy we release into the world. When you walk into a room with confidence, kindness, and purpose, people feel it before you even speak. Your energy becomes your presence, and that presence becomes your influence. A positive attitude isn't about pretending everything is perfect. It's about choosing to lead with strength even when things are uncertain. That quiet assurance that says, "I've got this," changes how others respond to you. People are naturally drawn to those who make them feel hopeful, inspired, and grounded. When your energy is rooted in positivity, you elevate not just yourself but everyone around you. That's how true leadership is born, not from titles, but from how your presence makes people feel. And that presence, when powered by positivity, opens more doors than words ever could. Every day, you are sending a message to the world with your attitude. Even in silence, your energy speaks. It communicates whether you believe in yourself, whether you're focused, and whether you're ready to rise. When you carry a positive attitude, it creates a magnetic pull. Opportunities begin to align, people begin to notice, and momentum starts to build. You don't have to be loud to be powerful. Your energy does the talking for you. A positive presence reassures others, calms tension, and builds trust. In a world full of chaos and noise, being someone who radiates calm strength is rare, and rare things are valuable. It's not about being perfect or having it all together, but about being grounded in a mindset that uplifts instead of drains. People remember how you made them feel more than anything you ever said. Let your attitude be the reason they remember you in a positive light. There's a saying that energy is contagious, and it's true. Whether in your personal life, your workplace, or your dreams, your attitude spreads like wildfire. When you bring a positive spirit into your goals, your team, your conversations, it ignites something powerful. It turns doubt into belief, fear into courage, and confusion into clarity. The energy you bring determines the energy you attract. If you're always negative, bitter, or cynical, you'll find yourself surrounded by the same. But when you shift toward positivity, you become a magnet for possibility. You begin to pull in people who uplift, opportunities that excite, and ideas that inspire. The best part? You don't have to force anything. You just have to be intentional about the mindset you carry, that shift within becomes the shift around you.